and the feeling of love.
Good afternoon, viewers.
I'm back.
Welcome to the Models Online Facebook page.
Forging ahead with the CID Boss.
The currently at the Sweden Police Headquarters, Afriton.
Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you to
online
yet
Facebook
another
page and
important
being with
meeting.
us.
Thank you very much, Frangua. As usual, let us observe a minute of individual silence prayer in our individual faith. Amen. Of course, I am Superintendent Samuel Sayo Conte, Deputy Head, Community Relations Department. Of course, on my extreme left is Chief Inspector Abdulrahman Sanko, the Ops Officer in the Media Department, and you can see, of course, our Admin Officer at the flank there. Of course, Sub-Inspector Joseph Bangua.
Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to the Oboda Facebook Online
Chief
page.
Inspector
We're currently at the Police Headquarters in Afriton.
now to the center.
The Police Headquarters, there's
ITV.
journalists and all
On
their
my
activities.
Left, we have
And also the updates on the 10th of August for us to be happy. So keep watching and welcome to Beyond Borders Online Facebook page with the live now the Police Headquarters in Afriton.
welcome, sir. And of course, very close to him is the head of the Criminal Investigations Department at CID. He is no less a person but Assistant Commissioner of Police, RPG Robert. You are welcome, sir. And very close to my right is our able Commissioner of Police, is the Regional Commander, Street Town East, Mr. Francis Hazley. You are welcome, sir.
Okay.
And of course, I take the onus in terms of courtesy and dignity to skip the individual who's going to steer this all important program for the moment. I'll go far on my extreme right. She is my immediate boss, no less a person but Chief Superintendent of Police, Edna and Sumana. She is the head of the Community Relations Department. Of course, the individual who is going to steer this all important press conference is no less a person but our able, astute and dynamic commissioner. He is presently the Regional Commander in Town West, Mr. Victor Manfred Williams. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, as I now hand you over to our chairperson of this press conference.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to appreciate you for another press briefing. But first of all, I want to give this press briefing to our fallen colleagues. At least let's have a minute of silence so that we can respect them. It has always in peace. I believe since our last press briefing, a lot of things have happened, and we have had difficult times. We've gone through them, and the country was relatively in a state where I would say unrest. And by God's grace, we overcome it. We have overcome it through the help of the MACP. And presently, the security situation is presently stable. And are continuing with both military and police patrols. We are maintaining our posture, our presence in all deployment areas where we think there are hotspots, and we are also engaging our communities because there are lots of rumors going on, and our community relations people have been out there. And the incident that occurred on the 10th of August is being investigated, and we're encouraging all of us here, all of you people, to come up with information because we know we are all out there. As the investigation is going on, we encourage you to talk to us. And as of now, our people are here who will be talking to see how far we've gone. And presently, we are looking at about our operations, how we are going about them, and how we will manage our communities to remove the fear that has been there and to make sure people have confidence in us. I thank you very much. That's my opening statement. And let's go to the agenda. Of course, that's my opening statement, and we would like to have a statement from the CID, which is first on the agenda. Can we go to our CID man? Yes, head of CID.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are here to just give a very brief update on the situation around, especially bordering on the investigations. Since the event of this month, we all know what happened, what transpired. Within that time to now, we have some people arrested, and the investigation is still ongoing. And we've gone to a certain extent that the classifications of offenses have been made, and some people have been released, and we are still on that process. Some are still in hiding as the evidence leads us. So I can tell you that a number of 133 have been unconditionally released. This is to tell you that not all that we arrested will be charged for any offense. So that is the reason or the essence of investigation. You need to investigate, prove the evidence, the involvement. Until that is done, then you can't prefer any charges. So for now, I think that is the number we have, 133, as I said. This includes both male and female. And we had 24 juvenile, inclusive men and women, or of course boys and girls. But this have been taken over by the Ministry of Social Welfare, and they are now with Don Bosco. I think they are with Don Bosco, sponsored by Social Welfare, and I will tell you that they are safe. Yes, even though we have some of them who were actually involved in the activities, some were even looting. We have video clips of that evidence that some even we had sticks beating up dead bodies. We have a clip of that. But according to the rule of engagement, we have handed them over to social welfare and they are presently with the Bosco. So for now, until any other question or concern, that is our position.
Thank you very much, Head of CID. I think, during the riot, we had lots of people who were out there with cameras. So that was what gave us the chance to get people. We have lots of cameras out there. We've been taking pictures, we've been taking video clips, and whilst the atrocities were going on, we record them and we have them installed. So we are still looking at them. I'll now move on to our lady, Madam Edna, to give us updates on his engagement with the public. On our engagement with
Good afternoon, all. I am Edna Sumana Silva, Head of Community Relations in the Sierra Leone Police. As you all know, we, as members of the Community Relations Department, have been going out there in the communities. We've been engaging our people in sensitization, community engagement. This is an ongoing process for us as a unit. And the importance of community policing, we share this out to our community people. Their safety and security is always being guaranteed. We've assured them of that. And that as it is also a crime prevention strategy. Going out there to the community is a strategy, crime prevention strategy, and also for problem solving. Our presence in the community solve a lot of problems. And as members of the CRD, Community Relations Department, we are responsible to bring policing to the doorstep of our people, thereby assuring them of confidence and trust in the police, and to give us vital information whenever necessary. And so the department have been engaging our people in all the divisions. We have community relations officers, and the unit is in all divisions. And so this is ongoing. But looking at the August 10 situation, you and I will agree that it's a community issue. And because it is a community issue, we are coming back to the basis, meaning we should go back to our people. We should have more of community engagement, more of sensitizations, more of one-to-one interaction. And this is what we are focusing on. We have started sensitization, and we have started a joint sensitization and community engagement with our sister forces, the ONS, the RSLAF, members of the Sierra Leone Police Media, some CSOs, and the BRU, bike riders. It will be effective from Monday next week, but we have started going round because our sister forces are preparing for that. This is because it is a national issue, and so the security sector is going to go out there with a massive and robust sensitization, engaging all communities. The reason for this, there are a lot of messages, but one of the main things we are taking out there is to assure them of their safety and security. But apart from that, our people have been engaged so much in this social media thing. The local policing partnership board, most members have migrated into politics. And we know that if you are a member of the local policing partnership board, you should be apolitical. So those who are moved, there are a lot of gaps. We have to conduct elections to see that the executives are active across the nation towards the forthcoming general elections. And also, we usually have community safety volunteers. These are volunteers, youths, young men in the communities who help us out there to secure their own communities. The message we usually take to them is that these communities belong to you. You have your houses here, your families, your businesses established in these communities. And so, because our number is small, the police cannot be seen in all corners. They have to step up to help out there. And they were willing to do it. But at the time, when the CSB started, initially, there were stipends. People were willing to donate. But because these are not forthcoming of late, a lot of people will tell you they have to go out there to hustle for themselves, to look for money, because we are not paying them. And so we are looking at it, how to revamp the CSVs, community safety volunteers, to see how they help us in the communities. So I am appealing to you here, journalists all over, whether press, media, to sell this out, that the police, the security sector is coming out to the joint sensitization, community engagement, and one-to-one interaction. And it is going to be massive, it is going to be robust within the western areas, and if possible, the peri-urban area communities. So this is my message for now. We are out there and going out on sensitization. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edna. It has been helping the police a lot, these community relations, even at the time of the unrest. It helped us a lot. However, let me go to the next item, which is update from Freetown West. And I fortunate to be a regional commander. Actually, during the unrest, we are fortunate it didn't spill over to us. Though Freetown West was the first to make arrests of some of these people. We arrested about 4 people that morning at Lonely, Sheriff Drive, and Wilkinson Road, and then 5 other women at Congo Town. And with that, we keep on patrolling before the spillover came up from the east. Not that we are better than the east, but there are times when issues happen, it's a warning sign that if it's happening over there, you too should be on your guard. And immediately and what was happening around there, these boys who want to steal from people will just pack up a situation. Then they come, I quote. And people start only leaving their wares. So we are fast enough to step out there to the public and tell them for them not to be afraid, but to maintain their stance and go on with their normal life. It happened all over in the West. But some man there was a tire burst at Lovely Roundabout. People start running. But because the community were out there assuring people, within a space of 10 or 15 minutes, people were back to normal life. It was happening all over the West because people want to cause disruption so that they can steal or loot from people's shop. So in that light, the community relations have been doing a lot. And actually within all this issue, thieves couldn't sit back at Angola. So let's pass on to them the assurance. Let's assure them out there. You'll be our mouthpiece also. So at this stage, I want to call upon my colleague, Commissioner Aisley, to give us updates for the Freetown East.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. People call me Francis Aisley. I am the regional commander of Freetown East. And when my brother was talking, he sidelined my region on grounds that he is living in a safer heaven, and all the troubles and Bukaras are from that side. Even when you look at the two regions, it is like we are in one of these provincial towns. When you look at what is happening in the Freetown East, you will be surprised to know that we are part of the Western area. But the behavior of our people at that end depicts another thing. Well, we all know what happened. The rumors, the D-Day, the 10th, and the 11th, we all know what happened. My end was no good area. But we have to break through. We survived. Although some of our brothers were brutally massacred. Up to this point I am talking, I am with a heavy heart. You know, somebody in uniform, the only offense they committed was because they wear this blue jacket or the OSC fatigue. Patrols have been conducted, like I said, but it was not easy. And up to date, we are still on it. Some of our brothers, they assisted us in filming themselves, sending it to the social media. We gathered all these photos and films. Our cyber unit in the ACP are working on it. So he ran out of luck. He went to the station at Crossroad and he was spotted. He was brought before me. He was the one who took the pot, a big pot, that was used to cook for our officers. He answered, say yes, I took the pot, but I only took it to go and safeguard it for the police. I said, well, why didn't you return it? He said, no, I was waiting for them to ask me. You know, he was talking to me with all confidence, and that he will assist us in naming the others. At first he denied, but seeing himself demonstrating, he says that he's been carrying the pot. I used to go to the post. They are my friends. So when I saw others gathering away with properties, I told them this was the pot they used to cook for us. So I took it home. I kept it for the police.
For safekeeping.
But he's helping us in the investigation. Assurance patrols are being conducted. And those of you who run away from the east to the west, please, I'm asking that you return. I'm asking that you return. Normalcy has returned. Because in the night, from 12 to 6 in the morning hours, you see our guys manning checkpoints and patrolling. That's just assurance patrols for you to know that there's now peace and normalcy has returned to my end. I think from the Freetown East, that is all I have for the house. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, my brother. Actually, we supported you. and we are watching each other's back. And policing everywhere is the same. It's unfortunate. But I want to assure all of us that please, if you have an information, pass it on. We won't expose anybody passing information to us. But let also the public know that the cameras were out there and we have those clips. And people can't run away from their skin. We are not persecuting people or will get you to prosecute you. And well, we'll move on. We want to call Mr. Duarte, BF Koma, from Fayandi Communications, to make a short statement from the civil society.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Senior officers.
Just stand on.
Mr. Chairman, Chief and senior officers, members of the district, and ladies and gentlemen, I stand here as a civil society activist, legal practitioner, and a dramatic. But then I think I want to start by thanking the SLP and the Community Relations Department for their good work to engage in this all-important sensitization exercise. I want to believe the reason has to do with misinformation from the police to the public, anxiety, and different things that was going on, and it resulted to a fracas that caused the death. Our people, the local people and the police. I want to believe one important thing that we need to remember, I was suggesting that thorough sensitization being undertaken by the SLP. The reason for that is because it is absolutely necessary to bridge the gap between the police and the public to the police because of many reasons, before even this fracas happened. But then I think they were working on it. We started something, and now what has happened has happened. So what we need to do here now is to focus on a proper, perfect sensitization exercise. I think I want to commend the Community Relations Department, and I want to suggest that let it be an informal. Please give me a chance to do it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was marvelous. That one will engage the CID. The director will look into that one. We'll see how we can use the various radio stations to play those jingles for us. I think this is not the time we have been waiting. Questions and answer time. I can see my friend. At this stage, I would like to hand over this part of the session to your renowned man, Mr. Conte, for the question and answer session.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman. Of course, I believe this is one of the most shortest press conference that you ever have. Now, I will start as usual from my extreme right. Dauda, you introduce yourself and your institution, please.
But anyway, I will now smoke.
No, he did it.
Where is RPG? I have question for the head of CID about one. Okay, Mr. Levy is here. You can answer. If you know him.
He'll meet the question. He'll meet it.
Okay, let me go to the community relation department. Head of CID, sir. I don't need to introduce my name to you, but I will do that. Maybe you have forgotten. My name is Dauda
For the benefit of all.
Dauda Kroma, it's on post newspaper. You mentioned that it one people suspects in your custody has been released. But I want you to end it because we have prominent people that are in your custody now. The one that has given people that will be released, is it today, last week, or Wednesday? Then I want to know few of them, the names of them. Just you can give me two, because when I want to do my application, let me just mention one or two if they are prominent or not. So let me know you are not that. And also, I need to understand Mohamed Bango has been arrested concerning the election that Samuel Bedigu that has been passed. So I want to know when he was arrested. Then the offense. There it was on social media that he instructed his driver to caution police officers. So I want to know if there is investigation of that also concerning assault or whatever. Community relation department, it's as if that department was dormant. It's just because it's August 10, protest or whatever they call it. I think that no community relation to talk to them. I want to know when you guys started, or it's just because you lack fund, or you are not having support from the whole organization, or there is no support from other organizations. Ma'am.
My name is CID. Recently, you arrested one maritime worker from. You released 133. We want to know how many are still in your custody, and the family members of the children that we are arrested, have they shown up to identify your children? Thank you.
Yes, Monjama.
Gender equality.
Everyone, especially to Simeon Sayo content. Welcome. We are so happy to see you. Straight to the point. It's just a concern about we the Eastern, because we were facing from the 10th to, let me just conclude it. The riot was a bit tense. It has been a while. I mentioned this, I think, 2 weeks ago. We want to invite the Freetown City Council Mayor. Now we are experiencing the end of the rainy season. Especially we in the Eastern, we are having serious traffic. Some of us, when we are off from our working places, we have to went home to see our children, how they are doing. But because of the traffic, and also the city is becoming so dumpy. So I want to know, and a support from my colleagues from the media institution, what are the Freetown City Council people doing within the country, and what are the roles and responsibility? Because especially for the mayor, there are
33 people have been released. Am I right, sir? Yes. So I would like to know on which condition or other which downside that you talked about that they are with Don Bosco. As well, I would like to know if they were released to Don Bosco, upon which condition as well. Then also if their parents have shown up.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. For the first round, I think we're going to hold it there and we respond to these questions, after which we call for the second round. Thank you.
I think the weapons were pointed at the man with the biggest bomb, RPG. So we listen to him.
Well, let me just start with the first. Is it Dauda Kumar? I was talking about the number of people released. The release started a few days ago, and it is continuing. But as we are seated here, that is the figure that we have released. Maybe by tomorrow it will increase because the investigations are still going on. And the conditions under which these people were released borders on the evidence you gathered. Actually, investigation is about evidence. If there is no evidence against somebody that has been brought for investigation, then there is nothing against that person. And among them, there are also people who were arrested for breaking curfew. So all those ones have been released. That is the total number I have given you. Talking about prominent people, I don't think the fiction of my dictionary indicates any prominence in terms of investigation. If you are there for a crime, you are there for a crime. If you have mentioned a specific person, as somebody said about Mohammed Bangura, then specifically I will answer you. But I cannot tell you these are the ones prominent and these are the ones who are non-entity. No, we don't do that. And for him, Mohammed Bangura, as you rightly said, so that is the situation for him. Talking about how many people presently in our custody, authoritatively I can't say I have 70, 80 or 90 because as I'm sitting here, people are still coming. So we still identify people and they are still coming. So I tell you that is the number. So that is the position for that question. Whether the juvenile, under which conditions the juveniles were released or whatsoever to boss school, who were actually entering police stations, looting properties. You know, one of them was found with a stick, hitting a dead police officer. We have all those clips. So that does not mean it should not be investigated. But as the condition provides, we have given them to social welfare to manage them, because some of them even find some boys around saying, go check back. We go say na you. So mostly we say, no, go call mama and papa. The moment you tell that, they say, oh, they will not come again. So they are there. Well, I know there will be time they will come. But they are safe. And they have been treated as human beings as well. Okay, so I think that is all.
The maritime worker.
We don't have, it is not to my knowledge anyway, except by investigating.
Mohammed Bangura. No. Hello. Thank you very much. As you have said his bit, and I believe he has dealt with the questions well. Before I go to the community relations, I just want to encourage my sister that city council is different from the police. We acknowledge your concern, and We are also appealing to City Council to take care of the city. The traffic will continue to do our best to make sure we reduce the traffic so that you can go home quickly. And if I can turn my attention to Our Lady again for the community relations, they have been there, they are there. It's only that there are times when prominency, like he was talking about prominent people, things become prominent by the hour. Because when that incident occur and they are out there, they have been coming out. But because they come out at that time, when they came out, they think it's the appropriate time. And they should be there. Though people are saying police officers are hiding, yes, we are hiding. We don't want to be killed. The fullness of time, we came out again because we had to be there. Though our colleagues have suffered such gruesome death, but that's our professionalism. We have to be out there to give the public that assurance so that our country will develop. So, Madam Edna, I just say something.
Essence is one of the most important departments in the Sierra Leone Police. And as I said earlier, our community relation officers are seen in all the divisions across the country. And like I said, this is our baby. Sensitization is one of our main jobs in the unit. We are out there. It is here in my phone because we have groups. Every day, my community relation officers send in reports. Whenever they go out on sensitization, they take pictures, they send in their reports, and not only the reports, but they even send in audio and messages. Yes, relating to their messages sent out there to our people. So this is not a dormant department. Only that community issue, we are out there again, and this time in a more robust manner to send out our messages. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our CID Boss.
Before, let's not forget, and before other questions come in, maybe this is very important. This is Audrey on those who are writing on social media that the police is denying relatives and players representatives. That is totally false. And well, of course, the prominent man Mohammed Bangura will testify as I'm talking to you with his lawyers, his relatives cook and bring food for even the human rights people went to go to the cell. They went there and they saw all those that were there and they spoke to them. Maybe humanitarian people came with food and some clothing. They gave it to them. Maybe one remote instance is like because they say to any rumor there must be some, but sometimes some people don't put it correctly. They're like on Thursday after the incident, truckloads of suspects were being conveyed from Kisii, Albaton, Waterloo, Ross Road to CID headquarters. And these people, some people came in actually, but at that time we had to prevent some people from entering because of the crowd, to see how best we can sort those people out. I think that is the only remote incident I can recall. But when people go to on social media, in fact, when those people were being transported, people went ahead to the social media and wrote that police officers are now receiving money from different stations, releasing those that have they have been arrested, that they have arrested. You see, so we are mindful of what people write, but we don't. Sometimes when you get them, please come, or if you even have my number, cross check. You know, come and see the evidence. If you say somebody has been denied access, come and make a presentation. I want to see how you be denied. Then you have a first-hand information. So let us don't just rely on them. It might happen in a special form, but people will not relay it the way it actually happened. They will not malign. So please, that is totally false, and everybody is allowed to see their loved ones. Lawyers are being allowed to see their clients.
Thank you very much, head of CID. But let me give a word of caution here. There is a time for every purpose under the sun. And there will also be a time for you to visit people and a time for you not to have a visit. You can't go there at 12 midnight, you say you want to visit some people. Please, let's be reasonable. Thank you. I think we'll go to the next set of questions. So
yes, sir. Thank you so very much, Mr. Chairman. I really would love to say a very big thank you to the head of CID and for our media practitioners. Please, I would love you all to capture what I'm going to say. Now, you can focus your camera very cogently now. The trust
Please
of
wait, please wait a while. Don't wait. You're not in the wild back. Go ahead, sir.
the trust of this press conference. Fair enough, our distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the media landscape has to do with the philosophy of community policing. And when we talk about the philosophy of community policing, everybody, I repeat, each and every one of us has a very cogent role to play. Please, we will not like to see a repeat of what happened on the 10th of August. Fair enough, we all have our distinct individual differences. But I'm begging you in the true spirit of patriotism, nationalism, and cohesion that let's put Mama Salon first. Mama Salon is very, very key and important, more than the APC, more than the SLPP, more than the C4C, and more than the NGC. Please, our media practitioners, make sure that you help not the Sierra Leone police, but help Mama Salon for peace to prevail. I repeat, help Mama Salon for peace to prevail. You will have a very decent way, a very professional way in which you can do it. All police officers, regardless of our regional or our media community relations officers all over the countries, but all police officers, I repeat, all police officers should have in his or her mind the intrinsic significance of the philosophy of community policing. That's the message I want you, the media practitioners, to have. What is this philosophical dimension? Please just be professional. Put your country first. Respect that community policing is not just limited to law enforcement. It's not only limited to crime prevention, arrest and detention. It goes far beyond that. And what is your role? See Mama Salon as your country. Respect the Sierra Leone police. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our country first above all else.
Hold on. We'll take.
Just
Hold on. Okay. Please. Now,
there's 4.
we'll take these 4 questions quickly, and the head of CID has to go for another engagement with the AG.
Yes, you too.
And
you too. Fairness.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, too.
I think let me start. Please.
Good afternoon. I'm welcome. Now, I want to ask a question in relation to the CID cyber unit. How far have they gone with regards to these invectives written on social media, broad and pornographic issues on the media? How far has the cyber unit gone in relation to that? Because it's a whole law that was passed in Parliament in relation to those issues. One, I need to understand that the government has plunged into the issues of arresting or returning, making a repatriation of this Adebayo man in, I think, in the Netherlands or Holland. I want to know the stage to which Interpol has interceded in relation to bringing him back. Again, there have been an issue of this mysterious container, to which I understand the TOCU, that is Trans-Organized Crime Unit, should have been, at the helm of issues, and also the Interpol also should have been a second line in relation to that. Why has those 2 departments not been active or vigilant in relation to that investigations? I want to know. Thank you very much.
Firstly, on behalf of the media, we want to.
Hold on, let me make a point here. Please, let's discuss the issue on the table. Please, let them go astray. Let's be guided. Please, carry on.
Thank you very much. Firstly, on behalf of the media, we want to extend condolence to the Sierra police and the bereaved family for the loss of our brave police officers. And please, Mr. RPG, for the record, and based on your record, as of yesterday, what are the number of people in your custody as of yesterday? Please, sir, for the record and based on your record. And finally, with regards to the rumor on social media with a mistaken character under the wanted list of the Nigerian guy, is it mistaken character or what? Thank you.
Agreed. Yeah. Yes, you can ask them. Then will be the last.
Yes.
Madam Edna, you did mention why naming the organizations that you're going out with, because in as much as you want the media to be popularizing your work, what you'll be doing out, so I'm just appealing that the media should be part of the team that will be going out to do the community policing.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I know.
And then also, still with regards the kids with Don Bosco, I actually want to know, are they with Don Bosco under the supervision of the police and the Minister of Social Welfare, or they have been sent to Don Bosco because the parents have not shown up? And whether while staying with Don Bosco, they will be assisting the police in some investigation, or are they being acquitted and discharged, whilst they are still with Don Bosco for some counseling?
Noted. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm somebody civil society representing here. Of course, the world is watching us, Sierra Leone, and what matters most is justice at this point in time. 15-man committee has been set up to look into or investigate the activities or the outcome of the August 10 and before the 10th and after. So we are patiently waiting, and we hope that due diligence will be done by those set up to investigate in this matter. And at the same time, we have been informed here that we should be in place to give information to the Sierra Leone police while investigation is ongoing. But my own take here is that please we want it to be coordinated because the committee has been set up already. So please, for us here, let us coordinate it properly, and of course let us be professional in the way we be giving out this information. The local police or community relations man. Now I think it's high time for us to enhance the interaction between the Sierra Leone police and the populace. I don't know if that is the goal, but if that is the goal, which I am expecting it to be, is that we need to enhance the interaction between the populace and the Sierra Leone police. There is some gap. And at the same time, food for thought here, we need to be honest with ourselves. What has been discussed, this root cause of civilians seeing police as targets whenever there is uproar? Whether it is going to be a national uproar, it's going to be a partial uproar. Maybe, for instance, if we say something happen now in the east or central, police will be targets. And this should not be the case, you see. So we want to see how best we can sit down, dialogue with ourselves. Maybe some of us know some of these root cause, and we will be passing them on to the Sierra Leone police. That this and this and this, for my own investigation and findings, maybe might have been responsible, back up with some other issues around. But for me, it is rather unfortunate, because being a policeman is not a crime. It's a call for profession and it's a call for duty. For us as civil society, we were having this press release, but they called upon me because I was one of the very first one that came up with a press release on the attack of a particular policeman around Sanders and Checker Stephen Street, right? So they called upon me, colleagues, civil society. So jointly we came out with a press release, very strong one. And we are now providing solutions and way of engaging the citizenry. And I think I will take it back to the civil society constituent to see how we can partner with the Sierra Leone police. Maybe where you can stop, we will continue. And then we'll be doing it the more, the merrier. It is very, very good for us to have it. Globally, the eastern part of any country, the eastern part of any country is challenging. Master Aisley, I want to commend you for your courage and stance. Seeing you here today and representing that part of the country, we will say kudos to you and keep up the courage. Of course, Mr. Williams said the support will be there at every time. And we as civil society and colleagues here, journalists, will be there to give the support. And I think more attention is going to be paid now in the eastern part as we are gradually approaching to the other time. Yes, sir. For me to just to raise this one, sir. This is the very last one. Yes, ma'am, with regards to the outreach that you'll be engaging on, the messaging and other issues that will be going up with, please, we need to be mindful and see how we can fine-tune them, because once you'll be feeding someone, that person should be ready to listen. And then, because one thing we should be mindful of, we should not underestimate the power of mediocres. Yeah? We should not underestimate the power of mediocre in our society. They have the potential to cause unrest.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we hand over the floor to my colleague, head of CID, so that he can talk to us and take his exit.
Yes, the first speaker, let me just talk about this Adebayo issue. The Adebayo issue is actually not within our purview as police officers. This is an international relation business. It has to do with the foreign minister and the international police. And for them, they are working on that. Maybe you can get a press conference with them. They will tell you how far they have gone. Again, I will come to the numbers of people in custody. You see, there is this thing that people always do. When you escape one route, they take another route on the traffic. As I said, even yesterday, people are coming in and people are being released. So as the head of CID, maybe if I get back to my statistician, the data there, they will tell me before the day ends how far we are. But as from yesterday on to this moment, in and out, in and out. So I can't tell you. I don't want you to go and this thing is live on air to quote me that I said this is the number. But actually, the total number of persons arrested all over the country, we had up to yesterday 506. You know, so that is the total suspects, and they are all not kept at CID. Some are still in the different police stations.
Excuse me, excluding the ones you list.
No, total number arrested.
Okay, so just
and now out of this, now you listen. So if you can work your mathematics, then you can say, don't say, because they are still adding, and people are still going out. Even if I leave here again, I'm going to the AG's office and tell you, these ones who have not seen anything, and you have recommended this, so go and do this. So from here I'm going there. So before you leave this place, maybe more will be going out or more will be coming. So on that area, let's please manage the information. Then the mistaken identity. Of course, it is not CID as the department that actually put that one out, and because of when this thing happened, some clips, some video we are showing this. It's not actually the fault of the police. It's those again who go on the street and record and send people, yes, social media, and say these are the people that are doing this. So when they take it from social media, they will let everybody see that this is because there are some people who don't have social media phones. You know, they have traditional phones. So their phones are not social. So they have to get that information by way of other people putting it out. So we did not do it on our own. And nothing is 100%. We for those who went to school, your class 1 to class 6, your class 1 to class 6, because I went to class 7 and sat to selective entrance. You know, I did not see to this NPSC or WAS. So I actually took the exams that were brought here by the British. So the juvenile at Don Bosco, as you said, you raised your question and again you answered it. I just want to confirm the last bit of it. And when you said they are with Don Bosco supervised by the social welfare ministry as a government and police still investigating them, that is the correct one. So you are correct by saying that, right? Then they're talking about the reason why police always become targets to criminals, because I call them criminals. Anybody who is an offender of the law becomes a criminal. No sober-minded person always attack police, right? So let's face this. You know, when those things happen, you have bike riders who have been disturbed by the police. They will be there to revenge. You have armed robbers who have been released, who have been targeted by the target police. They have other people from those areas that have been raided from their boats, you know, for these things. They say, that man and they go post yonder. Though when they see you, they will attack you in those type of things. So that is just that. They will not attack the military. Usually, when they see them, they are happy because they have no interface with them. You know, so that is the reason. You know, let us just have that. That's why we are targeted. And so I think if there is any other one, somebody will pick it up there because I'm running for another meeting. Thank you very much.
You nail it. You nail it, man. Thank you very much. I think without much ado, I think this is the appropriate time to run the curtain down.
Yeah.
I want to appreciate you for coming. I'm expecting to see you again in the next briefing. And we'll continue to talk, we'll continue to engage, we'll continue to reason,
Community policing, please don't forget us on Monday. We want to be part of the team.
You are always part of the team. It's only that the person representing the press.
Viewers and listeners,
You can't be there
welcome
all
to the
the
end
time.
of this press conference from the police headquarters.
Just engage her.
As you hear from the update from the head of the CID,
I want to say,
commonly called RPG, just confirmed to we say as of this moment, it's over 550 something people in custody, and also it almost confirmed to we say the honorable member of parliament Mohammed Bangura also they under police detention on the CID because of some issue be happening Sabia Bedugo during the by-election.
But let's galvanize ourselves and try to see what we can do for the East. Because there is always a time when the East becomes West.
So I still hear from the AIG,
the West
now
is
the
also
regional commander West,
and the East is becoming West.
Una
Thank you very much.
Perhaps just in the first press conference. We the live now the police headquarters. Just heard from the police update. For now, they don't release about 133 people that have been arrested during the violence of the happened 10th August. The east part of Britain and some parts of the north, east and northwest. And also, they just confirmed say as of yesterday, they don't arrest over 500 something people then where they don't arrest. Then out of that amount, 133 people they don't release. So we also don't confirm, the head of CID don't confirm. So we see the honorable member of parliament where they represent the Karina district, Mohammed Bangura, also they arrest him on the issue of say a bit inside other people then for crush the police during that by-election campaign. So I think, and also another question come up regarding the issue where they around the popular guy they call Adebayo with the Holland. According to the police, they say they're in charge directly with that particular issue. That's got to do with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Foreign Affairs go then they have responsibility that for give updates on that. Also, we also did hearing from the police service say the east part of Freetown, when the regional commander is for now don't almost don't settle. Calm down. This part of Freetown. Also, the arrest of the honorable winner. Police car update fee, issue me on 10th of August.
They accept that.
Inform we say as of this moment we say this long.
I did press conference now to people talk to them. Now wait till you see the people now. There's massive. It's fine. So you don't send down for me.
Also be under detention. Investigation.
You are issuing the say what they go now as chef super.
Somebody been double election. Maybe happen, so you don't
don't you really talk now, Andy? We don't agree. We don't agree that you don't agree now.
I said, I'm making use of this man. I'm not going to overcome this man. But the best thing is on the show.
So that is always talking for the
thank you for what you have
so that would
and we appreciate you and I've kindly asked to make it possible for the wireless online TV platform with the give accurate thank you very much.